Hey guys, Wrench here. I just wanted to do a video on the battle Saipan mission that I've been working on. So we're going to take a quick look at the briefing. Essentially, communist forces have taken over Saipan. We're going to take it back. And we'll just take a look at the map to see how this works. So we spawn at this little base here on the island. There are friendlies in the green zone here that we can pick up. Down here we've got a fire support base. And basically we pick up guys from this pier. We drop them anywhere else on the island, and they'll patrol around, look for the bad guys, call in if they see them. After a period of time, they'll return to where they were dropped off and call for a pickup. Then we can pick them up, drop them off in the drop zone, and they'll get despawned. We'll go ahead and grab ourselves an aircraft and see if we can't demonstrate some of this. A quick little caveat here is I'm not running VR, and I've got the graphic settings turned way down for testing and recording. So it won't look as good, and the flying certainly won't be as good as it would normally be. But hopefully you can bear with me and see what we need to see anyway. And as you'll see in a moment here, all of these other aircraft are from another script which replaces client aircraft with static objects until they spawn. We'll just go ahead and head off to the pier to pick up some infantry. So here we are at our lovely pier. And we can pick up some infantry. So we see we've got chalks and pathfinders. Chalks are 8, pathfinders are 1. I'm going to go ahead and grab a pathfinder and a chalk. See, there's our pathfinder, there's our chalk. And sorry if my voice is a little messed up. I had surgery the other day, and my throat's still a little sore from the tube. I've also had various issues trying to record this video about 1,000,000 times, so I've been doing a lot of talking today. So, I'm just going to go ahead and launch here, take off. You may notice some performance issues. I'm running this on a local multiplayer client rather than my dedicated, so that's an issue. If you're running on a dedicated rather than hosting it locally, you really shouldn't notice any performance decrease from what you normally have. Alright, so what I want to do is find a spot that I can land that's got some trees. You know, simulating a spot that I have to land in that's a little bit tight, without absolutely killing myself here. So I'm getting a little bit impatient because, like I said, I've attempted this recording several times and had equipment failures and various other problems, so bear with me. Alright, so I'm just going to hover up closer to some trees that we can get rid of. Looks like we're taking a little bit of fire. I'm going to open up the door gunners. Alright, so first thing I'm going to drop off our chalk. We're going to drop off Pathfinder. And then we're going to get the hell out of here. Try to. Performance glitch there, but I think we made it out. I may not have one of my radios configured correctly. SRS is not connected. So what we missed there was a call that there were troops in contact. Alright, so what we're looking for is the Pathfinder group that I dropped off. There he is. Alright, so we can see that these guys get a randomly assigned patrol group, and our Pathfinder gets a little group assigned as well. Hopefully we don't fly away too fast here. So we can see what the Pathfinder thing is all about. Might be off in the distance a little bit by the time it happens, but shouldn't be too bad. Now here's the message.
A patrol is ready for pickup at 55 Papa. Charlie Sierra 647-835 on 32 FM.
Alright, so that explosion there, those explosions, was the Pathfinder blowing the trees in that area. So like I said, there weren't a ton of trees there, just because I didn't feel like crashing, trying to get in. But that's one way that you can make a little bit more room for yourself. Now there's some other scripting options available. So when the Pathfinder is done, they'll call for a pickup. You can pick them up. The chalks will do the same thing, or they'll call if they're make contact with the enemy. If for whatever reason you need to pick up a chalk, okay. If for whatever reason you need to pick up a chalk, I'm just gonna end their route there with combined arms. So one of the things I can do here with my scripts is I can interact with this group through this. So for example, if I wanted to send these guys on another patrol, I could say patrol, comma, type in their name, chalk -2 spawn 2. You can see it here in the corner, and I can go ahead and delete that. And it will send them out on another patrol. Or I could say maybe I want to pick these guys up. So what I'm going to do is type in extract chalk2 spawn 2. Alright, and now they'll make their way there.
A patrol is ready for pickup at 55 Papa. Charlie Sierra 647-835 on 33 FM.
And then, like I said, they'll call if they have troops in contact, etc., etc. Okay, so there's a couple little things we can do there. I think that's most of the troop interaction. The only thing I didn't show was despawning troops. So let's just go ahead and pick up another group. Making these guys run a long way. I think I may have damaged my skids there. So this is one thing you can do with Pathfinder that's been used, or a chalk that's been beat up. So the chalks you can pick up and move around. Once they're done, you can pick them up, drop them off, etc., etc. But what we can do is, when we're done with the group, let these guys get on board. I think everyone's on. Alright, so let's just say, for whatever reason, maybe a couple of the guys have gotten killed or whatever happened. We want to despawn this group. We'll just take them over here to our handy dandy despawning area. So we sort of decorated this like it's their, you know, like their base. So they're just RTB. So what we do is just land anywhere kind of in this area. We'll pick them out. And they get deleted. That was good timing. Normally it takes a few seconds. But there you go. So that's how you can delete guys. We have a couple of other little scripting options here. We can spawn more infantry at here. So there are two options there I want to show you. So if we look over at our pier, you can see them in the distance. We can clear the pickup zone. They get deleted. And we can spawn some more. We also have CTLD so that we can spawn troops with that to include mortars. And that's really handy for setting up an FSB. So we'll attempt to demonstrate that. This is where the recording has gone wrong every time so far, so I'm going to give it one more shot. And if we can't get a good recording of it, I'll just have to ask you guys to trust me. So we're just going to float on down. Okay, we're going to pick up the pathfinder. And we're going to pick up some mortars. Incidentally, anywhere outside of these green areas is sort of the patrol zone. So I'm going to go somewhere over in here to set up this little FSB. Set our pathfinders on board. So we'll go ahead and get after it here. And we'll just look for somewhere that we want to set up an FSB. Now this could also be a CTLD fob. You know, there were sling loading crates in. Could be somewhere we're bringing in some heavier artillery pieces. You know, whatever the case is. But since it's relatively quick and easy, I'm just going to demonstrate with a mortar team. So I'm going to look for somewhere that has some trees, but not too many. You know, so I can kind of demonstrate what I want to show you without, you know, crashing the aircraft here. It's much easier when you can look around. Alright, so that's not a terrible area. It'll show you what I want to show you. So, normally what I would do for full immersion is drop off the pathfinder, take off, let him do his thing, then pick him up and drop off the mortar. So I'm just going to do it all at once here. So I'm going to drop off the mortars first because the pathfinders like to walk into the tail ring. Okay, so I drop off my mortars, and see, they're stuck in the trees, so they're not really going to be of a whole lot of use, right? What we can do is drop off our pathfinder. The hell out of Dodge before he walks into the tail boom. Let me see if I can find the control I'm looking for.
Pathfinder setting charges.
Okay, so you know he's setting those charges we asked him to set.
A patrol is ready for pickup at 55 Papa. Charlie Sierra. 641. 829, on 34 FM.
Alright, so he blew the trees. And now we can see our mortars are kind of in the clearing that you created. That's why I say I would normally set it up where I drop the mortars after Pathfinder does its business. So let's see if we can't move those guys with CTLV here. Now, our mortars are in the clearing that the Pathfinder made for them. So that can be used when building larger fobs or artillery emplacements with larger units, whatever you got. And then, of course, we can pick up our Pathfinder. I believe that's him because they're sorted by distance. So he'll jump on board, and then we can drop him off at the drop zone. Pathfinders are kind of single use, so it's best to just drop them off in the drop zone and then spawn a new one. And if you've got combined arms, you can actually create a waypoint for a patrolling group and have them, it'll cancel their patrol, and then you can use that patrol command I demonstrated earlier if you want them to go on another patrol. So that's a good way when you're setting up a fire support base or a fob, especially if you have multiple aircraft, sling loading in, multiple crates, mortar teams, infantry. You can have infantry protecting your fob as you build it. Go ahead and drop off this Pathfinder. Alright, so now we see we've got a mortar team, and they are in a clearing. Now what we're going to do is go ahead and restart the mission. And you will notice they spawn back in, and then the trees get removed again. So that is persistent. That all gets saved to a file. And then, never updated the Pathfinder's position, so we've got an extra Pathfinder out there. No big deal. But the fobs that you build, the crates you drop off, the units you move around, they're all persistent. So everything is sort of as we left it. So because we're Game Master, we can see where all the enemies are. Currently there's 30 groups. So that allows us to build fobs, fire support bases, larger artillery emplacements, groups of infantry, what have you, and just have them all do whatever it is we want to do. So hopefully you guys found that interesting. I know the video's not super high quality, riveting entertainment, but hopefully at least give you an idea what this mission's about. Alright, so thanks for watching. See ya!